What's going on, everybody? Matt again here. Hey, we are over at Conway again, and even though we did another video just really a few days ago to do our initial walkthrough, I think what a lot of people don't understand is what a rehab looks like after demo and before it goes back together. So, case in point, I'm still in the house, but now kind of out of the house. There's a little hole here in the side of the whole thing. So, I want to walk you through and show you guys what a house looks like in this point, because I think what a lot of people that we work with being sellers, I think a lot of people that are getting started as investors don't know and don't anticipate is how far a house has to get taken apart and how much you have to do before you put it back together. I think we do a good job of before videos and before pictures, and after pictures, boy, it looks so great, but a lot of people don't understand how dramatic a house looks during this point. So, you know, again, it's only 3 days from the time we took the last video, but now that we've torn everything apart, I want to show you guys where big expenses go in houses like this. Case in point, you know, you see a new kitchen when we do one, right? Well, the before and after, ooh, it looks so nice, but what people don't realize is literally the kitchen gets gutted to the studs. Everything gets torn out. So, you know, walls are moving. It's not just take cabinets out, put cabinets in. You know, we've got to put insulation in here now. That was unexpected. You know, these houses built in the 50s and 60s, you know, a lot of times don't have insulation. We don't know that when we walk a house. So there was an unexpected cost. This is something that you'll see later once it's finished that makes total sense, but at the time it seems easy to do, but we converted everything out here was an exterior storage area. So where that hole was that I was talking through was actually the old door, and this was a wall here, and it wasn't part of the kitchen. Now it's going to be a pantry. Well, we had to frame a whole floor because it was at ground level, which was outside. We had to frame the entire subfloor to get it level with the rest of the kitchen for this whole thing to make sense. So there's a lot more that goes into it that people don't realize. Little things like, not little, but a big thing like this that can get overlooked is the electrical panel was basically right in front of the stove. Well, that doesn't fly for new code. So we've got to take this panel, flip it around, and put it on the outside of the house. So, you know, a lot of people, they come in, count receptacles and light fixtures, and they don't realize, well, you have to bring this up to 200 amp service, run all new circuits for your kitchens, because now we've gutted it, we've got to change all the electrical in here. So you're talking about $6,000 in just electrical. A lot of people will probably come into this and say, okay, it might cost me $2,000 or $3,000 at most for electrical, because I've got 1,500 in fixtures, maybe some receptacles and switches. You never account for this. Well, you have to, because that's a lot of money. So those are things that most people don't realize. Plumbing, I'll take a look, we'll go look at the bathroom. So this is pretty dramatic as far as framing goes, ripping it all down. This whole area in here had to get reframed. There's still a hole on the side of the house over here that's going to get changed around. We're going to put French doors over here, so now this has to get all framed out, insulated. So a lot more than you think of just saying, well, there's a room here already. It was already part of the heated living area, but it wasn't up to code between insulation and everything else. So those are just the things that sneak up on you. And this isn't that dramatic, but we opened this up so that now when you walk in the house, you don't have to turn this goofy corner. It just feels a lot more open. We're going to do some cool keyed archways and stuff. It'll be pretty neat. But in these bathrooms, I mean, this is a major change for this stuff. Come in here and check this out. So that closet was there. This was a hallway, if you remember. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see, but this was a hallway that led to a half bath here. This was a closet. And then you had your master on the other side, which had a door from this hallway and a door from the master. So all of this, as much as I planned for all this framing and accounted for it, I did. I came yesterday and the contractor says, well, and we even had an inspector go under this house, and he says, it's probably the cleanest house you guys have bought in the 3 years I've been looking at your stuff. Well, okay, good, yeah, great. Probably won't have to do a whole lot underneath the house. Well, it was structurally sound, but when we opened up the floor in the master, the thing was like this. So if you know, it was all out of level, so you can't tile on an unlevel floor. So what has to happen is, we literally, yesterday, you look in here, all of this, literally, all this new subfloor in here is all new. All the joists, brand new. So yesterday, I'm in here standing and there's literally nothing here. No floor joists, nothing. You'll see through the crawl space onto the dirt crawl space floor under there in the ground. So between reframing this, putting down new plywood, we had to do the same thing in the hall bath. same scenario. It was all out of whack, so you go to tile, it's going to look like crap. So what do we have to do? Literally gut the entire floor and come back with new subfloor and new floor joists. So $700 that we didn't account for, and that's a big deal. So these are things people need to realize. And you see a house finished, you don't realize that how opened up a house gets when you're fixing things like this. And so that's really what I wanted to get across to everybody was, you know, the people we work with as far as sellers sometimes go, you know what, I know Anthony, Matt and Anthony, you say it's going to cost, you know, $40,000, $50,000 to fix this house up, but I just don't see that. You know, how much are cabinets? They can't be that much, but what they don't account for is what you can't see. When you've done as many rehabs as we have, we know this stuff. So I want to share this video really because this is kind of a behind the scenes of what does a house look like in between it looking dated and looking dramatically great, but what happens in between and how bad does it get. So just a little behind the scenes peek, and again, we'll come at you with another video. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.